Network presents the $1 million Bud Light Pro Beach Volleyball Tour. This weekend, it's the Outdoor Products Louisville Shootout. The stars are out, but they are shadowed by the lights. The first time ever, men's pro beach volleyball under the lights. A beautiful evening in Louisville, Kentucky. The air temperature 80 degrees. The wind is nominal coming across the court, maybe 5 miles an hour. John, it can swirl in here. And look at all that beautiful sand.
It's beautiful, but it's deep. Yesterday, after a little bit of rain, it was very slick and players had trouble with their footing. Now it's just deep and it's trouble to get out of. The team that's freshest can get out of it best.
Paul Mitchell will serve first. Their setter is Eric Sato. Yes, that Eric Sato from the U.S. national team, the defensive and serving specialist. On the outside, it's their captain, 6'2", 185, Jeff Williams out of UCLA, twice an NCAA champ and twice an All-American, the winningest player on the tour. The other outside is Mike Deal, 6'6", 210, probably the rookie of the year on this tour out of UCLA, and in the middle, none other than Craig Buck, 6'9", 203, 2 Olympic gold medals, 2 NCAA All-Americans at Pepperdine.
Let the thumping begin.
Eric Sato at the service line, side out scoring to 15 points, win by 2, no cap on the score.
Sato, a serving specialist, wherever he's been in volleyball, can rip that jump serve.
Dvorak back sets Bob Stavertlik, and that's a side out for team champion. Let's take a look at the lineup for team champion. Their setter is Dusty Dvorak, 6'2", 180 out of USC, an Olympic gold medalist. On the outside, it's Dr. Volleyball, NCAA All-American, Olympic gold medalist, 6'4", 210, Bob Stavertlik. The other outside, just joining the team from the U.S. national team, a Long Beach State All-American and national champ, 6'1", Matt Lyles. And in the middle, it's the 1988 MVP of the NCAA, former member of the U.S. national team, Tom Duke. Buck hitting in the middle. Dvorak is there. And Deal goes back at Dvorak, side out.
I mentioned the team that was freshest can get up out of the sand. Mike Deal has a proud tradition of ignoring the deep sand, and when it brings everybody else down, he still just rises. That time, no approach, jumps straight up about 28 inches out of the sand and ripped the ball.
He can get up as high as John Lee used to be able to get up when he remembered. Duke hitting into both. Nobody covers Tom Duke.
2 people there to cover. When Craig Buck is blocking, you better cover. Tom Duke took the wicked rip at the ball, but Buck was all over it, and either Dvorak or Duke could have made that play. No communication. There's Duke on his slide. He's moving to the left. Big approach, big rip, but a very big block as well. And Duke took a back step. Usually he will pop it up to Dusty Dvorak to get another play. They've got to communicate.
Craig Buck at the defense. Behind him is captain Jeff Williams. Service will be 1-0. Duke is blocked by Buck. Stavertlik is blocked by Buck, and there's a net call. The net is called against Paul Mitchell. They celebrate, and then they find out somebody netted.
A net was called, but Craig Buck in just these first few plays has established himself as the man in the middle. It's a back set coming right at us. The line blocker, I think, projects and nets. As you could see the net reaction, great shot of that net violation. Also a great shot of penetration by this man, Craig Buck.
Ooh, he looks tough. Lyle serves. And Lyle serves just long as Mike Deal watches it go outside.
We mentioned that jump serving would be an issue. Now, Paul Mitchell has the most effective jump servers. I mentioned that Sato can rip it when he wants to. Williams can rip it, and so can Mike Deal. And he's going back to give one a ride right now.
Duke has a little trouble connecting with Dvorak, but it cannot be picked up in the backcourt by Sato.
Every setter, when they start a game, has to establish their middle attack, and Tom Duke, going up aggressively, has already gotten 3 sets. Dvorak knows that that's his job. He wants Buck going up on Duke, so that time Duke with a big roundhouse, not his conventional swing, and Sato couldn't bring it back.
Duke on the front line. Stavertlik. Back set to Deal, and Deal hammers hard in the middle.
Not just a back set, but an extremely sweet back set by Sato. He had everybody going the other direction, and big Mike Deal coming through on the only a block and a half up there to stop him. Mike Deal's the man.
Buck's the man with a serve. 1-0. Whistle called and a lift on Deal. Deal doesn't like that call.
Nor do the fans that are looking for any opportunity. How can you tell he doesn't like that?
It's body language. I don't know. Just a guess.
Look at that glare.
Woo.
Pierced the kryptonite shell with that one.
Yeah.
As Deal's backpedaling off the net, he lifts the ball. Did he have a closed fist? That's the issue. If he contacts it with an open hand at all, it's a violation.
Duke serves. 0-1. Deal outside. Off the block and good. Side out.
And Tom Duke was blocking line that time, and Mike Deal is not intimidated at all when he sees that normally a middle blocker. Tom Duke at 6'6" up there against him. Still went high hands. It's a confident arm swing right there on Mike Deal.
6'3", he gets off the ground. This deep sand has not slowed him down. Here comes Sato. Ooh. Lyles has to bring Dvorak way off the net. Bob Stavertlik hits long. There is no touch, and point number 2 goes on the board for Team Paul Mitchell. Champion heads to the bench.
And how did it happen? On the big jump serve. Got him in passing trouble.
We'll be back to the action from Louisville, Kentucky, the Brewery, and a great crowd. Stay with us. Welcome back to Louisville, Kentucky. Joining Bud Light on the tour this year, the big truck. Yes, it is the 18-wheeler. That's a lot of fun. The Sony Auto Sound Tour Truck. And John, it's time to take a look back at the action this weekend. But when you look back at Speedo, you know, it's sort of misfortune for them. Doug Partey's team played well, but they got beat a lot.
They played well early and lost some close games, and then things just went downhill steadily. Ended up abysmal, 0-4.
Ofer. That's an Ofer right there. OP 2-2.
2-2. And OP started out the evening with a good shot at winning this tournament, but they floundered in their final match and went from a first-place finish potential down to a terrible fourth-place finish.
Carlos Briseño returned, and it was not a heroic return.
There's so much parity. You lose, you can really hurt yourself.
That's right. Paul Mitchell was in the semifinal. They beat Sony Auto Sound in that semi. They were also 2-2.
Well, they were the recipient of OP's fall from grace, so once they qualified for that semi, they had the good shot at getting to the final.
And Sony, who has thumped on Paul Mitchell the last couple of weeks, Paul Mitchell got revenge
in that semifinal, and Sony at 3-1 is still playing well. They've won the last 2 tournaments, so they're doing just fine.
Champion was the winner of the round-robin competition, also 3-1, but the points were for them.
They got the point nudge against Sony and took it to the top, so they got to wait out that semifinal game and let Sony and Paul Mitchell beat on each other, so they win the pool play.
Well, Sony Auto Sound Grand Prix leaders, and there's my favorite volleyball player at the top of the list. It's Biggie, number 1.
Now, Craig Buck right up there at the top. 4,134 extra bucks that go in his pocket. That's in addition to the regular prize money he's winning every week. And there's teammate Deal and opposition OP members Sammons and Wallace and Stavertlik, all the big names of volleyball.
That's right. When you earn points as an individual player on the Sony Auto Sound Grand Prix, those points turn into money. And when you play in a final, those points turn into a lot of money. Let's get back to the action. Sato under the lights. His lead, 2-0. And a double contact is called on Dusty. You heard John Lee go.
Dusty Dvorak will not usually do that. Look, he takes blame for that, says, my fault all the way. That's a smart player. He goes up to set that back set, and it is a little bit humid, so the ball has been wet all weekend. He should be used to it, but look at that ball rotate in the air. A quick whistle by Rick Olmsted.
Sato serves, 3-0. Service just wide, about a foot outside of the line, right in front of the boot.
And we've seen Sato, as he goes back to serve, sometimes rip the hard one and sometimes just float it. That time, he went for the ace. If he has the same motion every time, makes it very difficult for a passer to get a bead on just how aggressively he's going to hit that ball.
Champions got to get started. They couldn't cover. Another block. Side out for Paul Mitchell.
Greg Buck, again, getting the call in the middle. Talk about establishing the middle. There's no need for Eric Sato to set for this man to establish it. Everybody knows that this is where the heat is coming from Paul Mitchell.
They love him here in Louisville. He's been signing autographs. He's got his own cheering section. That is just outside.
Another very aggressive jump serve by Williams. Sato's got the big one. Williams has got the big one. And Deal leads the whole league in jump serve aces. So
Deal up to last week had served 24 aces. Hammer time for Craig Buck in the middle. It's working.
Only one blocker up that time, and that's not enough because Craig Buck can hit the ball a variety of directions. And look at that sneer on his face, too. Is he focused?
Yeah, I'd say the cameraman's in focus.
Buck with his big arms. Look at the big arms as he takes off. And Duke getting up a little late. Was not going to commit. Thought they might go someplace else. Excellent set selection. Thread the needle by Sato.
The score is still 3, serving 0. And a block by Craig Buck on Tom Duke. Things are looking very dismal for Champion early. 4-0 the lead for Paul Mitchell.
2 stuff blocks now by Buck. And Buck is going up all over Tom Duke. Look at that concentration. He's ready. A nice pass by Lyles. Dvorak gives it to Duke, but Buck sliding to the side on Tom Duke's notorious sliding set. All over it with well-formed hands.
Timeout is taken by Team Champion on the court. Bob Stavertlich says, come on, guys, let's not let him get away. Don't you get away from us. We'll be right back to Louisville when we return. Welcome back to Louisville, Kentucky. You can see the crowd assembled here. A beautiful evening in the southeast. Deal serves 4-0. Tough. Pass by Bob Stavertlich. Buck is up there to swipe it away. Tom Duke is blocked by Deal and Buck, and point number 5 goes up for Paul Mitchell.
A very serious block on that play right there as Duke gets the wild bump set off. The bad pass again. That's what forced this bump set into the middle to Duke. He's got 3 blockers, and that's no time to swing. Time to shoot the ball, and Duke a little upset. Takes a rip at the net. He's frustrated.
Tom Duke very upset. We'll let him chill out right now. Let's go. When you were a kid, and that's a big truck. That thing is more fun than I can handle a lot of times. Back onto the court come our teams, and 5-0 is the lead for Paul Mitchell. Yes, they are headed to the other side of your screen as we have traded sides.
And a serious momentum change needed right now by Champion. We've seen many times that the team that wins the semifinal comes out with more fire, and that's the case with Paul Mitchell tonight.
Deal.
Yeah, driving not a final nail into the coffin, but it's definitely a serious one right there into the deep middle. Neither player aggressive. Nobody going for that ball and nobody talking as Deal rips that thing to the middle. He leads the league in aces. That is why to the direct middle of the court.
Hello. 6-0. Deal. And it continues as Lyles shanks a pass off of Deal's second ace of this match.
And Matt Lyles was added to this team, to the Champion team, because he can pass jump serves like that. But unable to right there. Look at that rip. The ball's out in front of his body, gets his back and his shoulder into that ball, and as Lyles goes to his knee, he's been passing that ball perfectly all tournament, but he can't get a hold of it right now. Ooh, there's a happy man.
Guess, but he better get a hold of something very quickly as the lead is quickly 7-0 and Deal looks ready to rock. Another tough pass. Deal's guys on the outside in front of Lyles on the defense, and Katie barred the door. Who says that? It's 8-0.
And Mike Deal looks like he's having one of his nights. We've seen him in the past have very poor performances or very good performances. This is the time for one of the big ones, and Deal is swinging with abandon from that left side. Williams gives him that ball. He says, hey, we've got somebody who's hot. Here, take a temperature check on that swing right there. Cross court with heat.
Third ace. Don't touch that remote control. There's nothing but reruns on the other channels. 8-0. Deal is killing him. 9-0, and the fans love it. Perhaps they want to call it an evening, John. Is this what they call early ugly?
Early out. Deal ripping an angle last time. Now with his 5th kill down the line on that ball.
We're going to take a break here, as it is a huge lead for Team Paul Mitchell over Team Champion. Stay with us. Let's see what happens. Welcome back to Louisville, Kentucky. Baxter Jacks, the brewery, the volleyball connection at all, but there's no volleyball connection right now for Champion.
Well, not between Dusty Dvorak and Duke. These guys look happy, but they're not seeing the best performance by the Champion team. They need to pass that ball. Champion's got to pass this man's jump serve. Deal is just ripping that jump serve, and they're not able to get the ball to the middle. If you don't pass that ball, the setter cannot get the ball to their middle attacker, Tom Duke, and that's what they need to do desperately right now.
Tom Duke is not having a lot of luck in the drama that he sees under the lights.
This event seems very dramatic to me. I mean, everyone out here is partying, having a good time, and the lights are out, and never played at night before in a beach tournament. It's going to be exciting.
Are these bright lights producing a little stage fright, perhaps?
9-0 lead.
It's a game of momentum, and we have seen games change dramatically during the course of this tournament. Champion needs to side one out right here. Or a service error. Just as good.
That would work.
We'll take that. Well, the timeout works its magic. Whenever the team has a head of steam, the timeout can sometimes put a little pressure on that guy who's feeling so good. Give him something to think about.
This is the man that has to get it started right here, Bob Stavertlich. But that's the man there that didn't get the dig, as that man, Mike Deal, hammered the cross-court.
Sato does a great job of sensing the strength and vitality of any of his members. I don't think Jeff Williams has gotten a set yet this game. Why set anybody else when Deal is delivering like he is?
Stavertlich on the X play. Deep corner works for Team Champion. They go back and still face that 0-9 score.
Stavertlich is a determined man. He's used to seeing a lot of blockers. There's the X play. Nobody up on that first ball. They know they're going to Stavertlich, and Stavertlich says, a lot of corner over there, 3 blockers, not enough. But look, he knows that they've got to muster some. It can still be a long game. It doesn't have to be a quick game. Stavertlich has got to make it happen.
From above, Tom Duke at the service line. Deal.
What a beautiful set by Sato again. Despite the fact that they've gone to Deal about the last 7 balls in a row, they're still setting him, and the block is late getting there. Excellent court management by Sato. Where's the block? Nowhere. Deal just rips. That late arriving block by Duke is ill-formed and nowhere to stop that big hit.
E-spot. Shot.
No.
Missed the line.
What's the call? The referee was retreating.
Well, I saw that ball out on the monitor.
I thought it was out as well. The line judge is retreating, and here's the rule. If you're a line judge and you're bailing out of the way of a ball that's coming to get you, you just put your hands over your eyes and say, I didn't see it. They can either play it over again or let the head official call it if he saw it.
Rick Olmstead made the call as Dusty Dvorak beefs the call. Eric Sato sits down. He got an ace. It is now a 10-0 score as Champion sits down, and Paul Mitchell looks good. Eric Sato taking in the fluids. It's a cool evening. Last year so hot here in Louisville. This year, beautiful weather.
It's a beautiful time to play at night. Now, let's take a look at this. We see the line judge. Is he in position to call that ball? Ooh, that looks like a clear out of bounds. The sand may have bounced on top of the rope, but it looked out of bounds. Was the official watching that ball? His head looks like it was turned as that ball hit the sand.
We'll be right back to Louisville, Kentucky, right after this. Welcome back to the $1 million Bud Light Pro Beach Volleyball Tour. Let's get to the action. 10-0 is the score. We have traded sides. Paul Mitchell now on that side. Hope it's a bad side. Bob Stavertlich on the X-play gets away from the double block. Captain Bob Stavertlich of Team Champion in the deep sand of Louisville.
You know, the deep sand, it can be a big plus, it can be a big minus. Sometimes out here you hit a hole and you feel like you're just not getting up out of the ground. but it's also a lot more difficult to run down the shots. You know, a short shot deep to the corner. So definitely the team is fresher has an advantage.
His legs should be fresh. He's got to start rising out of this stuff and delivering the heat that he's capable of delivering.
A chance. Not. And Aristano to the deep corner. It's working the way of Paul Mitchell, and the service goes that way also.
When it's working, it's working. Sato takes a swing at the ball in the middle of that play. Ball kept in by Lyles. There's the pass up to the net. Sato goes up. He sees something happening over his left shoulder. He says, I'll put the ball in the very, very corner. Nobody there.
Paul Mitchell playing in their 4th final in a row. Champion making it to their 1st final in a month. It shows.
Go, 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 go!
Duke covers. Stavertlik hits. And Deal goes outside the line. Slide out.
Some superb play from both sides of the court. Mike Deal with a great dig on that. That ball deflected off of Craig Buck's block, and Deal popped it up in the air and then went to take care of it. Tried with his angle. His first hitting error by Deal. He's unhappy about it. Boy, he'll take that kind of a night anytime. Followed by a bad pass, though.
Nice cover by Dvorak. Champion cannot buy a break as a troubled ball turns into a tap from Craig Buck that is uncovered by Team Champion.
And it looked like Lyles was there ready to make a burst for that ball, ready to make a break for it, but couldn't get it up. Did not make that explosion. Nice effort by Williams, saving it, popping it up in the air. Ball back into the middle of the court, and Buck rising over the, and nobody laying down for that ball. When you get down, when you get frustrated, you've got to continue to communicate. The Champion is not doing that. Either of those guys, Stavertlik or Matt Lyles, could have gotten that ball had they communicated. Ooh.
Oh, point goes on the board from Mike Deal. The trouble all on Champion side of the court. John, I've got to get this out right here. Looking back at the league stats over the years, the worst defeat for a team in a final, 15-3. There has never been a bagel, as they say, of 0 on this tour. This is our 5th year. Paul Mitchell's heading to the box feeling good. I hope you folks stay with us. We'll be right back to Bud Light Beach Ball. The topic of conversation, can Champion get back into it? Welcome back to Louisville. We hope Champion will come back, John.
The Champion's got to get it together right now, and they've got to do it with communication. They need some cohesion from amongst their players, because right now they're all frustrated and staring at the sand.
Let's take a look right now at the season's leaders. By category, kills. Stavertlik at the top, not tonight.
Well, he's at the top, and Buck and Briseno are just behind him.
In blocks, it's Craig Buck, #1.
He's #1. He's got 35 more blocks than the next closest guy.
The digs, John Wallace way ahead, and the leader in aces is at the service line, Mike Deal.
Deal also leads in service errors, but if he scores like he does tonight, it doesn't matter.
Another mistake on the outside by Matt Lyles, and point #12 is on the board. The death watch has begun. Could this be the first thump at 0 on this tour?
Players of this level, it's almost incredible to think that they could hold a team at 0 with the likes of Stavertlik and Dvorak and Duke on a team.
I think Paul Mitchell wants it. Deal serves deep, hits that high topspin just past the line.
I mentioned he led the league in kills and in errors, and there's one of the errors. If you're going for it, like Deal does, like many of these players do, you're going to make a few errors, so it's okay. If you turn points, it's worth making those errors.
Deal leads the league in aces, 24 before this tournament, and 3 in this finals match in Louisville. Lifting up, Stavertlik is there. Dusty Dvorak helps him out. Oh, Bob is looking around for help, and you see from overhead, it was like everybody was around that, but they had it surrounded.
They call that out of sync, and Dusty Dvorak says, that ball was mine. Wishes he had gone for it. Ball's going to Buck in the middle. He goes high and over the block. It's up. Does Duke go for it? Does Dusty go for it? stop and go. That is not vintage champion volleyball. They've been playing great prior to this. They are out of sync right now.
Duke is blocked by Mike Deal. That 12-0 lead is now unlucky 13-0 for champions.
And look at the hollow look of Tom Duke. Staring down at the sand, he says, gee, I'm just trying to bang it. You don't want to be tentative when you're down like this. You've got to stay aggressive. The set goes to Duke in the middle. Big arms, nice approach, nice rip, but look at Deal rise. Duke just went the wrong direction. Deal very aggressively went up with the middle, committed to the middle blocker.
Bob Stavertlich hammers from the outside. No quit in that man.
No quit. He's got his 6th kill, but Tom Duke with only 1 kill. Duke has 4 errors in that middle hitting position and only 1 kill.
Captain Bob says, come on. 0-13. Off the block goes Deal. Big angle banged off the shoulders of Tom Duke. Side out. Eric Sato will go to the service.
You just get that feeling of confidence from Mike Deal right now. He says, hey, I'm just gunning every time. I do not care. Finesse, who needs it? He's in the driver's seat.
Bob Stavertlich has to step over his setter, Dusty Dvorak, for that kill.
And rips it through the block. Stavertlich gets so automatic sometimes using that block, but he needs some help on offense. Matt Lyles has been unable to provide any, nor has Tom Duke.
The no-hitter watch continues. You can talk about it in the booth, but you can't talk about it in the dugout. 0-13. Willie gets down the line, side out.
Nice late turn by Jeff Williams. That's his first kill of the game. Not that many kills to go around when Mike Deal is hogging such a huge share of them. There's the outside set to Williams. The commitment by Tom Duke on the middle hitter leaves Matt Lyles all alone. And that's not enough to stop Williams.
Duke with the side out.
That time the commitment by Buck, trying to stop Stavertlich, leaving Tom Duke alone. Duke still got that low set, cuffs it to the deep for the put away. They've got to turn around right now. What a great comeback this would be, Duffy. Let's be optimistic.
I saw an 11-1 comeback one time.
I was ahead 12-2 in a game and lost at the finals of the tournament one time.
Greg Buck for the side out. Greg Buck has been training hard, and you know what? That training is paying off.
The weather hasn't been too much of a factor, so I'm feeling pretty good going into the finals. The sand is soft, but we train real hard during the week at East Beach, don't we, John? Keep it going.
I see him out there sweating in the half-light of evening out at East Beach all the time, so Craig is in shape.
Nice look at that serve coming at you. There's Bob Stavertlich going the other way.
Directly down the line. Now, when they get that good pass, it was a good serve, but when they get that good pass, they can orchestrate their offense. Dusty Dvorak is the man that can do it. Down at this point, they are such a proud group of athletes, they do not want to surrender a 15-0 drubbing. They're going to do everything they can to turn it around. Stavertlich looks almost frantic there as he gets that ball. And you can wait, you can be sure the crowd is going to erupt when they get their first point.
I will. John and I will have a huge cheer coming out of the ESPN booth here as they cover that ball. No, they don't. Looking for it, not finding it.
Again, Deal. Just a nice high spank. 10 kills now for Mike Deal. Deal, a hot and cold player. There is little doubting his status tonight.
Last week in Avon, cold. This week in Louisville, steaming. And Matt Lyles goes up on the outside with the side out for team champion.
First kill for Lyles is the offensive Matt Lyles. Breaking out. Got to take some swings right now. Don't go softly. Keep swinging high and hard.
Dusty flashes the 2, and Duke serves 0. Mike Deal gets kill number 11. Call out the SWAT team. He is the SWAT team, hitting everything from every side, John.
He is getting great kills from both sides. And watch his late turn down the line. Deal's going up to attack from the right side. Now left, right, left, big arms, giant rip, and turned his shoulder at the last minute down that line for another kill. Great vision and shot selection by Deal. 11 kills now for Mike Deal.
Stverlik is blocked. Stverlik is blocked. Duke is blocked. Craig Buck is everywhere. That is match point coming up next as Paul Mitchell has put 14 points on the board to none for champion.
Duke thought he was going to surprise somebody as he rose to hit that ball and did not surprise this man, Craig Buck.
The fans love it. They are seeing history, John.
There's the back set. First block covered by Tom Duke. Ready. Matt Lyles goes for the bump set. Comes all the way across to Stverlik. Ooh, look at that aggressive block. Dvorak with the ball up in the air. Duke takes a swing. Buck says, number 3. I'll take that one. Count it.
Blocks 1, 2, and 3 for Paul Mitchell. Craig Buck feeling very good about the situation. How else would he feel? And there is champion talking things over, certainly in disarray. We'll be back to Louisville, Kentucky right after this. Welcome back to Louisville, Kentucky. The lights are on, but they're almost out for team champion. Let's go to Scott Fortune. It's time for the Beach Boys. Boys was brought to you by Fruitopia for the mind, body, and planet. Not on the off the planet right now, Paul Mitchell. Back to the action or lack thereof. Ladies and gentlemen, we're at match point. It's 14 serving 0. Bob Stverlik is blocked. The ball still alive. Here comes Paul Mitchell. And there goes Craig Buck. There it is. First time ever a 15-0 romp by a team. Things are so even in the 4-man game. We have seen nothing but 16-14s and 15-13s, and Paul Mitchell came out. They were unstoppable.
Craig Buck, absolutely incredible. He wanted this. Mike Deal wanted it. This team coming back from their very poor performance in the finals last week, and just every single guy, every single man stepped up to the moment.
John, how can they do that? That's unbelievable. Come on, John.
You know, they were in disarray. Not only did they play poorly in that finals, but they were mad at each other. I rode all the way home to Santa Barbara with Craig Buck, and he was saying, oh, this team, you know, I don't know. He didn't necessarily believe in his players, thought they were lucky to take a second, and here they are, unified, winning the semifinal match. Watch this first block by Craig Buck. It goes straight down, and Dusty Dvorak is sitting in the sand and pops it up. And look at the enthusiasm and the vitality on Paul Mitchell's team. They sense the end, and Sato says, I think Buck wants it most. Bingo! Right down to the sand, and it is over.
A 15-0 win, and this personifies the entire match, folks. When you think about a 15-0 score, you think about something like this. Outside, 1.
Straight down.
Luck falls for champion, but not so much luck as the ball goes up again. And here we go. The ball comes over. They go to the big man, and boom, it is gone. The game is gone, and it is history. For the first time, it's 15-0 for Team Paul Mitchell.
The ball goes down, the hands go up, and the lights, which are very bright here, have gone out.
Well, they will go out a little later on. Stay with us. John Lee and I will be back in Louisville. Welcome back to Louisville, Kentucky. It is history in 2 ways. Number 1, the first night game for men's pro beach volleyball, and number 2, the first 15-0 victory on the tour. Let's go to John Lee. He's courtside with Mike Deal and Craig Buck.
And I'm here with a couple of pretty darn happy guys. Mike Deal, what a night by you, 15-0. How did that happen?
I don't know. I guess nothing went wrong for us. Everything was rolling for us. Like in New Jersey, we just brought it all together at the end. That's basically what happened. The only way I can describe it.
You guys were supposed to be tired. I mean, you had to play that semifinal game. It's been hot and humid all weekend, but Craig, you're getting on in years, but you had plenty left. What's going on?
I'm catching up to you, I think. I think we just, one of those games, once in a lifetime almost, where everything just goes our way. E set a perfect game. Willie passed and Deal passed perfect, and that was a lot of fun.
And the jump serves. Mike, you're the league leader in jump serves, but here's a night where everything is going right against a couple of pretty good passers. Were you just going back there with blood in your eye, or were you trying to place it?
Picking a spot on the court, I'd say to myself, I'm going to think of the first spot that comes to my mind. That's where I feel where I got to serve it. And usually, I guess this game it went for me. So, I mean, when I thought if I was going down the middle, I'd serve it down the middle and down the line. I was just putting the ball exactly where I wanted to, and it's a great feeling when those kind of things are happening to you.
Every wish comes true. Craig Buck, you've had a lot of wishes come true in your volleyball career. Have you ever been involved in a 15-0 game before?
Not out here on the beach, no. You know, the beach is kind of an equalizer, so, you know, this is pretty rare. And I think Champion's a much better team, and we just caught them a little sleep, and everything went our way, so.
Okay, well, the ultimate congratulations to you on this historic night. Hey, we're all getting wet. We'll be right back after this.